best part about doing the school during the summer is doing the floors. Once you strip the floors and put new wax on them so they're nice and shiny, you get a huge sense of pride of just looking at that and seeing the shine, and it's just like, oh, I did that. It's satisfaction of a job well done, and the school's nice and clean for all the kids every day. Yeah, they're great people. Yeah, the principals, the teachers, everybody, they always got a smile, they always greet you nicely, so it makes you feel welcome.
Connections that I make with the employees throughout the district. And that's really nice. I love it when people call and they ask me questions and I can give them advice and I can tell them where to look things up or just have a chat.
Day-to-day interactions with my students in the classroom. That's the part I enjoy the most.
The ability to provide the latest technologies and resources to staff and students in the district.
Relationships with the kids is very meaningful, and I love the fact that I get to work and do what I love.
When I can support the teachers and help them to be the best they can be in their classroom in whatever way possible. Also, our parents, they provide us with their most precious gifts, and if I can make a difference in their lives, then that's what truly, makes my job meaningful. Because
being able to work district-wide with such dedicated and inspiring staff, ultimately in that pursuit of fostering that inclusive, engaging, meaningful experience for every single student and family.
I get to work in this beautiful space, and the inspiring part, I get to be with the whole families. So mothers, fathers, grandparents, caregivers come to the center with the children, or it could be 3 or 4 years. So we have an amazing team that we work with. We get to talk about what's going on in our centers and how we can inspire others in our centers.
Here is that I can support all the people out working with the students. I get to take something of pressure off of them by making sure that they get paid on time and paid accurately.
Probably my connections with the adults that I work with and the kids that I work with, families that I work with, and also the work that I get to do. So a lot of it is preventative, and I feel really passionate about the prevention work that we do.
Is working with kids towards enhancing learning and student learning, and the opportunity to work one-on-one with students, oftentimes students who are struggling, and finding a meaningful connection to the school for those students, and then engaging the teachers in that process as well.
I find the fact that I'm teaching music, first of all, makes it meaningful. I have a passion for the subject and I love sharing it with kids. I'm in a privileged teaching position. All of my students are returning students, and I see their growth right from the beginning of their high school experience through to graduation, and that part is very meaningful.
Making meaningful connections with my students and the staff that I work with. So I enjoy spending time with the students and feeling like they really get it, or when they are really enjoying something and we can have very meaningful conversations. And I also feel like I'm very lucky to work with such a collaborative staff, so having conversations amongst each other and working as a team.
Is a smile on the kids' faces.
I get to come to school every day to teach our beautiful language and our culture to our CIA, our family members and our community members here at Kinnikinnick and Chatlache. I get to instill Seashell values and culture within our students. It's very important to me that they know where they come from and that they're proud of who they are as Seashell people.
The relationships that you build with the students and staff.
Lots of the students are a lot of fun. Typically they're really curious and they always want to know what you're doing. So I think that's one of the best part of my job. And there's a lot of variety in this job.
Find meaning in supporting all of the students and teachers and support staff that I do in making technology more accessible for them to use for accessing the curriculum and to enhance their learning.
I love my job, absolutely love my job. I love the children. I love helping them in any way I can, any way I can.
When I see kids with smiles on their faces and the staff working together, it's just always inspiring every single time I go into a school.
I flexibility in the work, which helps out a lot. And I got a great family to support me, and they do a great job. I really lean on them a lot.
I have a lot of outside interests. I do a lot of knitting. I do a lot of string fiber arts, and so I find very restful. The zen of the repetitive task, I guess.
I always make sure that I take time for me. So it's just about managing my time and making sure that I balance everything out.
Learn things that I'm interested in, and I take time for that. I also have been doing exercise lately and taking care of my physical health as well as my mental health.
So I like to run in my spare time. I like to read in my spare time and travel.
So it's really important that to me to find a balance, make sure that I eat well and sleep well. Sometimes I get out for walks and exercise and stay as healthy as possible. On the job, I make a point of, I have an ergonomically correct work sit-stand station, which has made a big difference for me.
This year, I have made 2 goals for myself, and one is to engage in more physical activity and exercise, and we've been able to go out as a family more. Soames Hill has been a regular. And the other piece is gratitude. So really trying to be mindful about being grateful, and on some days those are smaller than others, and some days those are really big pieces. So
by being outside. I think I'm outside probably a couple hours a day. I'm just lucky enough to have that beautiful forest right next to where I live. So
I run a lot. I've been picked up more running about 4 years ago. When I joined the group, I ended up meeting different people, and people that I wouldn't necessarily have met before. People who have kids, whose kids have grown up, who have very young kids. So it's just people in the community that it's nice to make a connection with. I also like to make cards and scrapbook, and I like to be in the outdoors and work in my garden.
To take time to be mindful and especially make sure that I'm being grateful for the opportunities I have and the life that I have, and time with my son, and like those little things, the quality time.
Weekends, spending time with my family, with my kids. We're active in the community in sports, and so we have lots of connections with other families.
I have a pretty good schedule. My days are long, but I have days off to balance those long days.
The things that I do in my life are exercise on a regular basis. I often will do that before work, and it starts my day off right. I like to go to bed early. I like to read. I like to have baths. Spending time with my family to rejuvenate is very important, and being outside. But that sense of balance and knowing that if I'm not feeling at my best, then nothing in my life is going to be at its best. So sometimes having to let other things go to maintain that balance.
Running, relieve the stress by running, but that's the best way for me. I think about everything while I'm running, or forget about things when I'm running. So it's the best stress relief for me.
Been practicing yoga in the morning. I do daily smudge as well, with sage and sweetgrass to calm myself before I come to work, clear my mind, have good thoughts, positive thoughts before I come to work.
And I get on the treadmill for half an hour in the morning, and then when I get home, I kind of have a nice cup of tea, chill, and take some time for myself. Just try to think happy, positive thoughts.
I really enjoy running in the woods with my dogs. I do that every day, and that's where I get most of my meditation done is running around. And you have beautiful trails up Mount Elphinstone, so that's how I spend a lot of at least 2 hours a day.
Well, I'm really lucky. I live near the wonderful woods in Half Moon Bay, and I do find exercise makes a big difference for me. So in the morning, you'll find me running in the woods with my dog and my friends.
In the springtime, when I really start walking and taking care of myself that way, walking to work and relaxing. And in my garden. That's my space, is my garden.
We've just enjoyed watching a number of our staff talking about what they find passionate about the work that they do. And also making sure that they're taking care of themselves in the many ways that happens for everyone. We're all different that way. So for this next year, and as I think about it, the strategic plan, and especially our goal of making sure that all of us are healthy and inspired to do the work that we do, I wish you a wonderful year. Take care of yourselves, get out into the beautiful environment that we have here, and have a wonderful year.